All right, good evening, everyone. I'm going to change the view here so that we can highlight our speaker. Good evening, everyone. Hold just 1 minute. Let me fix the view again here real quick. So we'll start here with the gallery view, and then we'll go into highlight our speaker. All right, so good evening and welcome to the February 10th, 2022 Grace Roots Be Strong Talk. And we have a number of folks that may not have seen one of these before on the line with us tonight, and we are recording these as well. So for anybody not familiar, Grace Roots is a nonprofit organization in Josephine County that focuses on bringing people together to solve problems in the addiction space and in the substance use disorder space. And we started as a committee of a separate nonprofit several years ago, and then back around 2017, we became our own independent nonprofit agency. We are a volunteer nonprofit agency that as we were talking a little bit about before we hit the record button tonight, we work together to solve problems, and our special sauce is bringing people together to solve problems, like when we were able to recruit the Grants Pass Treatment Center to open up a new location here in Grants Pass back in 2017, and they've since gone on to open up even more medically assisted treatment centers in other parts of Oregon. And we have our sights set on some other ways to fill gaps in our local services here in Grants Pass and Josephine County. So we also do what we can to bring people together and support each other in recovery, and that's of course is what tonight's all about. We took a brief break over the holidays, but now we're back to do our monthly Be Strong talks, which generally focus on how do we be strong in recovery, and we tell some stories, some amazing stories about perseverance and beating addictions, and then how do we work together and learn from each other's experience in being strong in recovery. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Archie Leidy, who's the designer of our Be Strong campaign, and he's going to introduce our special guest for tonight's Be Strong talk.
Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. So I appreciate everybody coming out tonight for Tina. Tina, thank you so much for sharing tonight in advance. I just want to say, like what Jay was talking about, what these Be Strong talks, what they're meant to do is to listen to somebody who has battled who's had some struggles, and learn from that person what it is on a daily basis that helps keep them strong. We all have things that on a regular basis, whether it's from whatever's going on with our family to our jobs to everything that challenges us. And so what we've done is we've gone around and we've asked people that are being successful to go ahead and tell us what it is that helps them be strong. For some people, it might be working out every morning. For some people, it might be gardening. For some people, it might be painting, singing, whatever, or listening to music. So we're really, really fortunate tonight to have Tina. She has been working over at the Flying Lark. She's been doing a fantastic job. I first met her over at Grants Pass Downs, and her and her honey, Shane, are both people that have come a long way. They've battled a bunch of adversities, and it seems like they're doing a lot better and fantastic now. And we all come out here tonight to support you and learn from you what it is that makes you strong on a daily basis. So without further ado, Tina, please let us know what helps you be strong. Thank you.
Okay, so am I supposed to talk about my past a little bit too, or
whatever you want? I mean, whatever you want to share, Tina. It's all up to you.
We would love to hear whatever parts of your story you're willing to share with us tonight, Tina. So thanks again for being with us.
Okay. So first of all, I want to start out with my clean date, which is March 1st of 2020. And all the way up until then, I looked at myself as a victim. And today, the past 2 years, I've worked a lot on myself, and I can say that I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor, and I'm a child of God. So started out when I was really young, from the age of newborn to like 5, I was in like three or four big drug busts with my mom and dad. Got a hold of meth when I was 2 years old. Ate it. And then, so my mom and dad split up when I was like 5 years old, and my mom got with this guy. And so I was molested by him from the age of 5 until 11. My mom was letting it happen. And so I went through a lot of that stuff. And I knew my mom could do it because she protected my little sister. It just was not me that I just wasn't protected. And after that, the molestation stopped around 11. I just went to school, did my thing. Like 15, I was right around 15. My mom came up to me and said, Tina, I know that your self-esteem is really low. And I realized that I did that. And I want to help you. So she introduced me to this 18-year-old that was a drug dealer. So she'd drop me off on Friday night, pick me up on Sunday. So it took me a minute to realize, whoa, my mom's selling me for drugs. And a little while after that, I found out that I was pregnant. And my mom was hollering abortion. So I went to the abortion clinic, and something just hit me. And I'm like, I can't do this, like I can't do this. So I ended up keeping I ended up not aborting the baby. And my mom turned the guy in for statutory rape because I was 15, he was 18. I ran away. I got picked up by the cops and all that stuff. My grandma came and picked me up from the hospital, and I was just like in a hospital gown, because they took all my clothes for the statutory rape thing. And after that, that's when I said to the cops, like, I don't want to go home, like this happened from the age of 5 until 11. And I don't, being pregnant, I didn't want my son or my daughter, I didn't know what it was at the time, to go through what I went through, And so I was with my grandma for a couple months while they were doing the investigation on the guy that my mom was with at the time. And it was unfounded. So I obviously had to go back home. Had my daughter at the age of 15. Then I had my son at 17. Obviously, I started doing drugs at the age of 15. And it was just a battle. That's when my battle started, really. And was using with my mom. And so had my son at 17. Went through high school for like 2 years, 12th grade. Still didn't have enough credits to graduate. Finally got my GED. So when I was around 20, almost 21, my mom decided that she was gonna pay somebody to take me up to the woods, a couple people to take me up to the woods and to kill me. And she took my two older kids, and one of the guys ended up calling my Aunt Lori and telling my Aunt Lori, hey, your niece is right here. She's probably not alive, but this is where she's at. So my Aunt Lori got there and I was unconscious. I was in a coma and on life support for a little bit at that time. I came to, my Aunt Lori had my daughter and my son, and I ended up moving to Albany. and where my dad was. And I was there, and my kids ended up going into foster care because of me using. And I just couldn't really kick the using. And it was just a battle with it. And so child welfare said, okay, Tina, you need to go to inpatient. If you don't go to inpatient, your kids are going to be adopted. If you go to inpatient and walk out, they're going to be adopted. So I went into inpatient. I was there for like 1 or 2 nights, and I walked out. So my 2 older kids got adopted. And then a few years later, I was still battling with my addiction this whole time. Like 2 years later, I had, in 2006, I had Emma, which is my 15-year-old, and she got put in foster care because I had kids that were already in the system. And I was like, okay, well, I'm doing the right thing. You know, she wasn't born with meth in her system. So I got pregnant again with Samantha, which is my 14-year-old, and which I had her in 2007. And just happened to be that I jumped through all the hoops that they wanted me to do. And I went in front of the judge in Albany, and because Samantha was taken at birth too. And the next day I went to court, and the judge is like, hey, this mom has done everything that she was supposed to do to keep these kids. So I was able to get Samantha home, and Emma was like, we were just waiting for the papers to be signed for her to be adopted. Well, that had to stop because I was actually doing the right thing. And so she got to come home a year after Samantha was born. So I had them, and their dad was in and out of prison. So I was just a single mom using and still not making the right decisions that I needed to make. And before their dad went to prison, we were using together, and they're like, hey, Tina, you either need to get on the bus and go with your sister, and I can't remember where she lived, but that, or we're going to take your kids right now because you're doing what you need to do, but their dad isn't at this time. So I left, and I got on the Greyhound bus with my 2 babies and went to my sister's. And for some reason, I still couldn't get it. I was still drinking, and I wasn't supposed to be drinking. And so my sister called child welfare, and it was a big ordeal. And then I had to come back. I went to like a shelter for a while with my daughters, and I moved back to Oregon, stayed with my Aunt Lori for like a year or 2, and then went to Mena, Arkansas, and was there for about a year, and I was clean while I was there. Came back to Oregon, and it just, my addiction and everything just started all over again. I was just using really bad. And so I think it was like 2017, 2018. I was with somebody that was off the hook, shouldn't have never been with them in the first place. And still had my kids at that time. And my daughter went to her dad's for the weekend, and she told him mom was choked until she was unconscious. And so that kind of stopped right there. And I really didn't get her back after that, my kids back after that. And that was like 2018, 19. And as a little girl, like I always wanted a family, like a family that was a normal family. That's all I ever wanted, you know? Like I could remember telling my mom that I loved her, and I just never heard that back from her. And I can remember climbing out my window and my mom pushing me back into my stepdad and holding my little sister's hand as I'm just hysteric, you know? So, so 2018, I think it was, I moved to Medford. And at that time, I didn't have my girls, their dad has them. But I was trying to stay clean and do the right thing. And I got a job at McDonald's, and oh, there was a drug dealer, and that's so I went back into my addiction again, a little bit off and on. And I was going to an NA meeting with my better halves, and I went, and that's how I met Shane. And so that I had somebody that actually loved me for me, and an amazing mom that I never had, an amazing family that I have today, that I always wanted, that I finally have. Sisters that love me, a mom that loves me, and a man that loves me for me, not just for what he can get from me or what I can give him or whatever. And that was a big deal to me. And I never hated anybody more than Shane when we were using. and I knew that with him, I just wanted to love him. I didn't want to get him before he got me. I just wanted to love him. And so March 1st, 2020, we both just said, okay, we're done. Like we got to change. And that's when I started going to church, and God is a big thing in my life today. Like, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, period. And I sure wouldn't be a survivor, not a victim, that's for sure. Because that's what kept me, I think, in my addiction for so many years, was me being a victim. I was a victim. And no, I'm not a victim. I can't express that enough, because I'm a survivor. I'm a child of God. I'm not a victim I'm just not. And once I got that in my head, and that I knew, like, I could love myself, then I kicked the addiction. It wasn't it, and it's not really the addiction that's the problem. It's what's underneath that addiction. It was my childhood, my beatings, my everything that happened. And when I was able to work on that through the steps of NA, and just give it to God and know that I'm okay, then everything just went into place. And when I started working at Grants Pass Downs, I only had a couple days clean. Like honestly, when I went to do my interview, it was a Friday, and I couldn't even give my UA on Friday. I waited until Monday because I was afraid my UA was going to be dirty, and I just wanted this job. I just wanted a job, a place where I could know I could just go to sleep at night, get up in the morning, and go to work. I just wanted a regular life. And I waited until Monday, and my UA was clean, and I got the job, and it's like, working for them is like my security blanket. Like that's a big part of what keeps me clean too, is knowing that I have to go to bed, and I have to get up in the morning, and I have to suit up and go to work, and do my best to make that happen. And yeah, that's my story.
Well, thanks so much, Tina, for telling that story. How about we'll open it up to, we've got a number of people live on the line tonight. We'll open it up here in just a minute for questions and comments from those of you that are on the line live tonight. But let's start with a question relating to being strong. So can you provide any other examples of what you do, other than your clear desire to do a good job for your employer, and to what do you do? What gets you up in the morning, and how do you stay, what do you do on a daily or weekly basis to be strong in recovery?
So I go to like 3 or 4 NA meetings a week. I go to my recovery cafe circle. I go to church 2 or 3 times a week. And I just do my steps in NA, in the 12 steps of NA. And that's how I reach out to other women in recovery that have clean time. And that's how I do it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks again. Well, let's go ahead and open it up for questions and comments from those of you online joining us live tonight. Feel free to just go ahead and unmute yourself, and let's show Tina some support, and let's feel free to ask any questions.
Hey, Tina, Mike Walters here. Not a question, but I just want to say, I think I've known you since maybe May, you and Shane. And I want to say that every single time I've ever gone over to the Lark site and I've seen the two of you, I feel the love from the both of you. And I always know I'm going to get a smile and I'm going to get a fist bump from Shane, and that I am honored to know the both of you. And I am proud and impressed with the courage that both of you have. And I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Tina, it's Marcy. I kind of just wanted to echo Mike. Your face is one of the first that I remember on one of my first days coming onto the company, and just how warm and inviting and such a light that you have. That has stuck with me. And I just want you to know that I personally think you are incredible and so strong. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Hey, Tina, this is Archie again. Probably the biggest takeaway from me tonight with you sharing your story, which thank you. It was very, very powerful. But I love the fact that at one point in your life, you demonstrated there was a transition from being a victim to a survivor. And that is, that's what it's about. And I'm very, very proud of you. So thank you so much for sharing and for being part of all of our lives.
Thank you.
Are you there, Tina? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'll try to take my video off so you can see me, because you have no idea who I am. I'm not dressed appropriately. I have a hat on and a t-shirt. There we go. How's that? Can you see me?
Yes.
Hey, we talked a couple weeks ago and about your children.
Yes.
And it was a really cool story to share. You saw your children for the first time in a while.
To do that, do you want me to share that?
Can you do that? Because it was,
Okay.
Yeah, because I told you that my wife and I, mainly her, because she's the rock, were involved in foster care for a long time.
Yes.
And that was especially touching. So if you could, I don't know, if you don't mind sharing that, because it's like way cool.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So my kids have been with their dad for that long, like I said, and I would just talk to him for a few months, and then I'd stop talking to him because of the guilt and shame that I had behind my kids. And finally I was praying about it, and I was praying to God, God, please put my kids back in my life. I really want it. And he would tell me, wait, it's not your time no more. It's my time, because your time never worked. So let's do it on my time. So about 6 or 9 months, when I had 6 or 9 months clean, God told me to call my grandma, and I called my grandma, and she's like, Tina, your daughters are looking for you. So this was like 3 years of me not talking to my kids, 2 years, period, not talking to them at all. And so I was like, okay. And I called my kids, and I've been talking to them steadily since then. And so the 23rd of December, just a couple months ago, I was at work at the Flying Lark, and I got a text message from their stepmom saying, Tina, if you want to see your kids, call me now. So I called her, and I'm like, hello. And she's like, we're going to California, and we're almost headed, we're headed that way. She's like, where are you at? And so you can see your daughters. And I told her, I'm like, I don't work in Medford, I work in Grants Pass Downs. So or I work in Grants Pass. And so I met them at Albertsons December 23rd. And I was able to see my kids for the first time in almost 5 years.
That's awesome. Yeah. I hope I didn't put you on the spot, because when you told me that, that was like, bam.
No, I forgot.
that was awesome.
That was a big,
awesome.
that's a big one. That's a big part of my story. And I totally forgot to even mention it. Probably nervous. A little, a tad bit nervous.
No, I was nervous too, just to ask you. I'm shy.
You should know by now, you don't have to be like that with me. You can ask me something, and I'm an open book, I'll tell you.
Well, I'm kind of afraid of Shane too. He's a pretty good guy. I guess, and the last thing is thank you. I kind of echo what Archie said. Mike kind of stole some of my lines, but having been for 30 years, what I did for 30 years was pretty much, majority of it was negativity. And it was hard to find success in my line of work. And when you did, you often found success, but short-lived. And so you never got to see the final product, like what you've become. So thank you. It's like a huge, huge, big deal for someone like me. I'm sure Archie feels the same way, because it's nice to see success come to an end, from disaster to success, and boom, there it is. So thank you. Thank you very much. Huge inspiration.
Yeah.
So thank you. And we'll be seeing you soon. All right. God bless you and Shane. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Tina, you have some, I'm not sure if you can see the chat portion of the screen, but you've got some fans that are giving you some kudos in the chat. So we have somebody that I don't think that's going to show up on the video. So for sake of the video, we've got somebody saying, thank you so much, Tina. You're amazing. Your light shines so bright. We love you. We're so proud of you, Tina. And thank you so much for sharing your story. Love you, Tina. You are a great example of strength and faith. And you are an incredible, Tina, such an amazing soul. And somebody also said, I just got the chills. So that's why we tell these stories and support each other. And you just got another good one. So just wanted to, in case you weren't able to see that, I just wanted to point that out. So anybody else want to actually say something? Unmute yourself and comment or question.
Hi, Tina.
Hi.
It's so amazing to see you and to hear your story more in depth tonight than, the brief interactions that we've had. I don't necessarily have a question. I just have a little bit of gratitude that I want to extend to you. We at the Games and Cheer side of the Flying Lark are beyond stoked to have you part of our team. Any single time we talk about, cleaning the facility and stuff like that, it's like, oh, Megan will do it. Oh, Tina will do it. It's always like Tina's either the first or the second that we name, that just knows that we know that you are like, your values carry over from your personal life to your work life, and you're a true testament. And we're just so thankful to have you.
I'm happy to be there.
Hi, Tina. It's Janice.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
First, I just want to say how adorable it is to see Shane's face when you're talking. His face lights up when he hears how great you're doing and the strength that you carry. Also, I just wanted to say I've had some conversations with you in the past about your children, and I know how much effort you've put into it and how much it means to you to see your children. And what a great time right before Christmas. That's amazing. I think that's such a great story to share, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Hey, Tina, it's Katie.
Hi.
Hey, I just want to tell you, you're an inspiration. You've inspired so many people, and you've shared so much love with so many people. And I think it's amazing that coming from what you came from, you have that much love to share. So I just want to thank you. Your face is a bright light, and I just love both of you so much.
Love you too.
Hey, Tina, this is Mary Hines. And I just want to say you are just a great, awesome person. You welcomed me when I first joined the LARC and came to the races. And I was so blessed to have hugs from you. And I still enjoy having hugs every day. And thank you for being who you are. And you are just a beautiful person. So we love you.
Love you too.
Hey, Tina, it's Megan. I just wanted to reiterate what Carrie said. I am beyond proud to have you on my team, and you really are the first person I think of when I want something done, or when we have an event to be held. And I couldn't be more proud of you, and thank you for sharing with all of us.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else want to weigh in tonight?
Yeah, this is Mike Walters again, Tina. So I got some questions for you. I'm curious, every time I come over to the LARC, you're always working your butt off. So what's your favorite thing you do over there, and what's your least favorite thing you do over there the last few months?
I think like my least favorite thing was carrying 2x4s last summer in the heat across dirt and travel and washing windows. I'm not too hip on that. Other than that, I love doing everything else that I do over there. I don't mind doing what I do over there.
Well, I think that's pretty obvious to most of us when we come over, because you always got a smile on your face. I thought you were going to say the plastic on the carpet, and it always peels up, and it seems like you go and straighten it, and as soon as you straighten it, you got to go straighten it again.
So my thing on the plastic is the people ripping it up as I'm laying it down. That irritated me a little bit. But no, once we got that roller for the plastic, it was a breeze.
Well, final thing is, I think life for most of us is a series of challenges. And I think the universe, God, whatever higher power you believe in, only throws at us what we can handle as a human. And I think that is a testament to you and to your character, with the tremendous amount of stuff that's been thrown at you. And for you to be able to sit here and talk to all of us and share your story just speaks volumes to the type of person you are. And I just want to thank you and tell you I love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
Well, thank you everybody for weighing in tonight. Anybody else want to weigh in before we call it a night?
Proud of you, Tina.
Thank you.
Hey, Tina, it's Big Mike. I just want to tell you how I moved was tonight, and I want to tell you how much you motivate and inspire me every day when I see you. And you bring me smiles and joy, whether it's work or we joke or on the job site. And I can't tell you how much you have added to my life. And I want to be a person that you are with your determination and your grit and your love. And thank you very much for being my friend.
Thank you.
And now I'm getting the chills, just like somebody else mentioned in the chat. Yeah, it's pretty clear your characters coming through with everybody who's sharing with us tonight. So thanks again, Tina. One final call. Any other comments tonight from those of you who are live with us? Good, really good turnout. So thanks to you and your colleagues that you work with for showing up tonight and supporting you and weighing in tonight and helping you tell your story. So for anybody that may have joined us late, or for anybody who is who wants to share this video afterwards, after tonight, we will be putting this up on our Grace Roots YouTube channel. You can just go to YouTube and just search for Grace Roots Be Strong, and you'll see this video within a couple of days, and many of the past videos that we did in our monthly Be Strong talks. You can also follow us on our Facebook page. Just go to Facebook and search Grace Roots Pathways to Wellness, and you can follow. You can see past recordings and follow us for future Be Strong talks as well. And thank you again for everybody. Thank you very much, Tina, for being our guest speaker for this month's Be Strong talk. And I wish you all the best in everything you do. And as you've said, which is many of our past speakers have said, it's God that keeps us strong and saves us. And so anybody that doesn't understand that and doesn't feel that, I would certainly encourage you to reach out to us and reach out for Tina. She knows it very well. It's pretty clear. So that's awesome. It's awesome to hear your story and to hear your perspective of how you stay strong in recovery. And may God bless you and keep you strong. And thanks everyone for joining us. And we'll see you hopefully next month when we do another one of these. Good night, everybody, and thanks again.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank
Either
you.
one.
You rock.
Either one.